Hello, everyone, and welcome to Georgetown Women's Basketball. I'm your host, Mike Baker. The Georgetown Hoyas were 8-2 entering January play, their best start since the 1996-97 season. Tough opponents lie ahead, but at this juncture, everybody's upbeat.
10-2 is a very good start, Mike. I think as coaches, we tend to dwell on what we can improve on. I've heard Bill Parcells say before on the radio many times, or on TV many times, with coaches, it's what have you done for me lately. It's, when the alarm clock goes off the next day, you're worried about the next team. Some people do it even sooner. I'm going to be doing it tonight. I got to go home and start watching some more Syracuse tape. It's going to be a hard-fought game at Syracuse, but 10-2 is good. 12-0 is better.
Heading into Big East play, the Georgetown Hoyas boast the 5th leading offense in the conference. The strategy is similar to last year, only there's more wing support this season.
Well, I always felt coming off of last year, other than the injuries and certainly losing Becky for an extended period of time, that we worked very hard to get the ball inside last year because Knock, Becky, and Zuzana, as a group, shot 50% from inside. Okay, now, what was the problem? The problem was we didn't get enough scoring from the wings last year. Now, you're right. We've got Carmen Bruce coming in, can pump in 12 or 14 points. Sarah Jenkins can give you 3 threes a game. Shawnee, of course, still strong with the penetration. But Leslie Tyberski is somebody right now I think we miss, and we need to get her back from a groin injury. She's an excellent three-point shooter.
One of the offensive leaders on this team that Coach Knapp talked about is Rebecca Brunson. She's averaging 18.5 points a game and 11.5 boards. In addition, she scored in double digits every game.
I think it's a mixture of things. Like, of course, my health is a bit better. I'm not dealing with the pain in the bones anymore, so that's great. Over the summer, I worked a lot on my shot, worked a lot on my ball handling, and hopefully it'll carry us far. I try to take a few extra shots. I try to talk to my coaches to see exactly what's wrong, what I can do better, how I can develop it. So I'm still in the process of working on having a better outside shot. Timing, like I've been trying to jump some rope to get my timing better, trying to block the ball while it's in the air, not trying to get the contact. So I think it's just timing I'm working on.
Mary Lisicki has also stepped up her play this year. Last year, she averaged 40% from outside the arc. This year, it's 52%. In addition, she's averaging 13.8 points a game.
Well, I worked on it in the summer, just making sure that I make more of my shots. I mean, I take a lot of threes, but shooting only 40%, it's kind of not, it's good, but I think I could shoot better. So, taking better shots, and then my teammates just screen well and get me open.
3 points for Mary Lisicki.
It's not only scoring that's up this year, it's also assists. Last year, it was just a couple of players, but this year, every single member of the team is involved.
I think it's this new offense that we put in the spread, and it's an offense that everybody is accountable. You do the same thing, everybody's the same, pretty much same position, you're cutting in the same place, everybody handles the ball. So everybody has the opportunity to pass it and to look for the open person. So it's this new offense that we put in.
Sometimes with coaches, it's X's and O's, but Coach Knapp and his staff have mentally prepared the Hoyas for Big East play.
Once you watch the team play, the first goal I think right now has to be take care of the ball better. I'm going to look at basic things, not numbers, not pie in the sky stuff. Let's take care of the ball better. I think that's critical. I think that if this team can execute each time down and get a good shot, we can do enough things defensively and play hard enough defensively that we're going to get our share of key wins. And, you have so many facets of the game, Mike, that you want your players to do well in. But I guess an overall January goal for me would be right off the bat in this first week, in this homestand, let's win a big game.
The question was, would Niagara be their first win in their 4-game homestand? According to Coach Knapp, it would take some effort to beat the 6-2 Purple Eagles.
Niagara University comes in at 6-2. Very scrappy team, guard-oriented, penetrates well, and 2 or 3 good three-point shooters. Not an inside game, but very scrappy, running team, moves well on the perimeter.
At 7-1, the Hoyas were off to their best start since the 1996-97 season. With the new year just hours away, the Hoyas wanted to bid 2002 adieu with a convincing win over Niagara. Rebecca Brunson came into the game averaging 17.4 points per game and 11.6 rebounds per contest, while recording 4 double-doubles and scoring in double figures in all but one game thus far this season. On the Niagara side of the ball, guards Eva Cunningham was averaging 18.8 points per contest and Katie Murphy 11.5 points per game. In true Hoyas fashion, Georgetown got the 9th tip-off in as many games. Carmen Bruce got the Hoyas' first pair with a nice bucket off an inbounds pass from Mary Lisicki. Carmen then answered the call with a 7-foot jumper off Noctuani's decisive board. The Eagles' Eva Cunningham then found her way to the basket with a nice slice inside. Carmen Bruce remained active in the offense with a perfect feed to Becky Brunson inside. Then Becky worked her defensive magic and seconds later grabbed an offensive board and sunk the deuce. The Hoyas' Shantice Charles showed her penchant for the assist with a feed to Shoshana Horvath, who popped the 12-foot jumper. Horvath wasn't done. Assist leader Mary Lisicki fed Shoshana, and Horvath pulled up for a nice spin move under the net. The Eagles' Katie Murphy made it respectable with 3 of her 15 points, while the Hoyas' Varda Tomilianis grabbed her first board and slipped in underneath. The Hoyas' defense also seemed up to the task as Noctuani got the rejection and the steal. On the other end of the court, she penetrated inside for the 2, and the Hoyas were up 28-23. And Mary Lisicki's NBA 3 all but dashed Niagara's hopes of keeping it close. In the second half, Becky Brunson and Mary Lisicki widened the Hoyas' margin to 40-28 with a Becky putback and a Mary three-pointer from the top of the key. Sarah Jenkins then looked off a defender and took it in herself. The Hoyas kept up the pressure, and Mary got her 5th of 9 assists with a sweet pass to Becky. Sarah, too, was not adverse to trying the 3 from the top of the key. And moments later, Mary hit from familiar real estate. The score ballooned to 53-37 with a Sarah rebound and putback off Varda Tomilianis' shot. Next, Mary pulled up for 2 on a pass from Shantice Charles. And Shoshana Horvath got a late block and a steal. And Sarah laced up another 3. Becky forced the Eagles' 13th turnover, and Santia Jackson, entering the game, got an assist on a Becky bucket. And then moments later had free reign in the paint. Next, Sarah garnered 2 more on the fast break, and Mary got a 2 on a beautiful inbounds play and her 9th assist on a dish to Becky. The Hoyas' Nerimo Berggren then launched a laser to Susie Bendigay for a pair, and the Hoyas went on to win 77-65 over the Niagara Purple Eagles.
Well, Mike, you want me to be honest with you? How did the Hoyas play tonight? Not very well. We did not play well, and we should not sugarcoat this. It was a sluggish ball game. We'll take the win. But everyone understands with the likes of GW, Virginia, and the Big East coming up in the schedule, we can't afford 14 turnovers at half. So we'd like to be positive for you sports fans out there, but it was not a good game tonight, so let's be honest.
I think in the beginning we came out a little bit slow, but we picked it up quickly. We started to get out on their shooters. We started to move with the ball. We played some good defense. I think we got it done. We could have did better. I think there were a lot of things that we could have did better, but we got it done.
I think we started out very sloppy first half. We didn't play together as a team. We weren't thinking smart. We weren't playing hard. I think in the second half we came to pull together as a team and play really well together. We made smarter decisions with the ball, played harder and played better defense as a team, and took better shots and were set when we shot the ball.
I just got back. I wasn't practicing for like around 4 weeks. But I guess I'm back, and I'm ready to play, and I feel pretty good.
The win over Niagara saw season highs in free throw shooting with 60% and steals with 5. Next up for the Hoyas, the George Washington Colonials, a team Coach Knapp felt would come into McDonough either a little down or with an attitude.
We won't take GW lightly at all. It's an inner-city rivalry. They go 7 or 8 deep. Ugo, number 35, the center. Tough task for us. Kathy Jones, excellent shooter. People all around Ugo who can shoot the ball on the perimeter, so no matter what we do, we have a tough task. They've lost 3 games in a row. One of 2 things is going to happen on Thursday night. They're going to come in angry, okay, ready for some revenge, get their team back on track, or they might be down a little bit mentally. Either way, we got to come at them hard early.
Starting 7-1 for the first time since the 1996-97 season, Georgetown renewed its rivalry with George Washington University, a team that had taken 4 of the last 5 meetings. The Hoyas' Becky Brunson won the tip-off, and point guard Mary Lisicki hit the 3 to open the game. George Washington forward Anna Montagna got GW's first points with a jumper from the top of the key. The Hoyas' Sarah Jenkins then hit from the outside arc. The Hoyas then worked it around, and Knock got the open 10-foot jumper. Becky Brunson got the rejection at the other end of the court, and Sarah hit Knock on a fast break, and the Hoyas were up 14-2. George Washington's Kathy Jones hit the 3-pointer, while Becky Brunson made it 14-7 with her second deuce. On the Hoyas' next possession, Becky got the offensive board and the putback. It was more Becky at the defensive end as she rejected 2 GW offerings. Next, Becky kicked it out to Sarah Jenkins, who hit the 3-pointer. A minute later, Sarah hit from the top of the key as the Hoya domination continued. Then Becky hoisted her 5th field goal of the contest and stole one at the other end. Carmen Bruce fed Knock for the 7-foot jumper, and Carmen hit Becky with a laser under the rim. Susanna Horvath blocked her first shot of the contest, and Bruce then hit Knock on a rope, forcing the Colonials to call a timeout, 34-20, with 5:10 left in the first half. After the timeout, Carmen Bruce hit from outside the arc, and Mary stripped the ball at the other end of the court. The half ended with a Mary to Knock fast break, and the Hoyas went into the locker room having clearly dominated on both ends of the court. In the second half, Becky again set the pace with a spin move underneath and launched a cross-court pass to hit Mary Lisicki on the double pump. Becky then found an opening down the middle, and Becky had some solid defense at the other end as Mary picked up the rejection. GW hit another tray, but Carmen Bruce took a bounce and up it went. Becky then deflected a George Washington pass, and on the inbounds play it was Shantiz to Mary to Becky for 2. With 2:47 remaining, Shantiz Charles hit Sarah Jenkins with the outlet pass, and Sarah pulled up for the jumper to knot the score 57-all. On the next possession, Becky got a remarkable save and made an unbelievable pass to Knock, who got the layup. GW's Lindsay Davidson hit the 3 with just 48 seconds remaining, but it was Mary Lisicki's pick, clutch 3, and 4 for 4 free throw shooting that gave the Hoyas the final advantage.
Get that smile, because that's a good win. We played pretty hard. We played pretty hard. Up 12-14, lose the lead, come back, grab some big rebounds, made some hustle plays. The one that sticks out for me right now is Knock Dewaney's offensive rebound and follow-up with, I don't know, maybe a minute to go, 2 minutes to go. That was a big play. We grabbed the defensive board pretty much the majority of the time. The defensive board, we really didn't give up too many. And then, of course, Mary came to the big time.
Very tough teams. I think we played our hearts out tonight. We kept with it when our offense wasn't going as well as we wanted it to. And we just kept going, and we persevered.
I think this game tonight was a really good booster for us. It's like showed us that we can play together, we can play tough. Because we played Niagara the other night and we didn't play up to our level of ball that we can play. So tonight we came out, we worked hard, we worked together, and we came out with a good win. So this is a good way to start the Big East on Saturday.
The win over GW saw some pretty impressive stats. Becky Brunson had 21 points and Knock Duaney had 17. Next up for the Hoyas, the Miami Hurricanes, a team Coach Knapp says has talent.
The Miami Hurricanes have, they're loaded. They're loaded. They have 2 or 3 new players on the team that are playing the heck out of it. Tamara James is about a 6'1" Becky. The Broussard kid was all Big East last year. Their guard play is strong, steady. Megan Saki. They're just very physical and get to the boards quite a bit. And I think that that's going to be the make or break thing here. Attack their zone, keep them off the board, take care of the ball better. That'll be our ingredients against Miami.
Off to the 3rd best start in Georgetown history, the Hoyas tipped off the 2002-2003 Big East schedule against the University of Miami Hurricanes. Georgetown fell to the Canes in the first round of the 2001-2002 Big East tournament game. The Hoyas got the tip-off, but it was Miami's Tamara James who got the first pair of the game. The Hoyas' Knock Duaney answered with all net from 12 feet, and Becky Brunson hit the jumper from the free throw stripe, while Tamara James pulled it even on a Miami fast break. The Sarah to Becky and Becky to Sarah give and go seemed to jumpstart the Hoyas as they pulled it even at 7-all. Mary then hit her first 3, only to see Tamara James get the easy look inside. Becky Brunson's 12-foot jumper and Knock Duaney's theft of the Canes' inbound pass kept the Hoyas close. Carmen Bruce then hit the 10-foot jumper, but the relentless Tamara James hit the 3-pointer. The half ended with Miami up by 6, 31-25. In the second half, Mary hit the 3 to narrow the Miami lead to 3, only to see Tamara James work it inside for 2. Mary then hit her patented 3, and Becky got a block on the defensive side of the ball. Moments later, she hit the jumper as the shot clock ran down. Mary then hit yet another 3, and Becky got a key block as the Hoyas erased the Canes' halftime deficit. Mary then hit her third 3, which gave the Hoyas the first lead in the game, 55-54, and the stands were rocking. With 28 seconds remaining in the game, the Hurricanes hit the 3, and they went on to win 60-57.
Well, the Hoyas just gave the game to Miami. We just gave them the game. Too many turnovers, played passive, did not play aggressive.
Yeah, first half, looking to go inside more to Becky and Knock and Jujana. Seemed that they were kind of coming out more, and then second half, yeah, they were sagging in. Maybe they didn't notice I was out there, but just looking for my shot more, and they happened to go in.
They've become a great team, but we've also become a very good team. Last year, the tournament, in the Big East tournament, I mean, we're just a totally different team from then, and we're going to go. We're going to, like, the difference is that we don't give up. Like last year, when they got ahead, we kind of like gave up. This year, we kept going and kept going. Even though we didn't come out with the win, we still played hard the entire game.
There were some positives in the Miami game. Mary Lisicki scored 20 points and was 6 of 10 outside the arc. Next game was January 8th against the Providence Friars, a team Coach Knapp felt could be beaten, but the Hoyas would have to execute better.
Well, I think the first challenge we have is bouncing back from this loss. The second challenge is we're going to have to defend Providence's offense. They have some good shooters. And we're going to have to execute better, regardless of what Providence does. We're going to have to execute better.
Coming off a tight loss to Miami on Saturday, Georgetown was looking to rebound in its second Big East contest of the new season. The Hoyas got the opening tip-off, The Hoyas' Carmen Bruce got the first tray of the game, and 40 seconds later hit again from the outside arc. The Friars' Casey Wheeler managed a nice spin move in the paint to draw first points for Providence. Carmen then got her 8th point of the game by taking an inbounds pass from Mary Lisicki and pulling up for 10. The Hoyas' Shantice Charles picked up an errant Providence inbounds pass and took it herself. The Friars' Jessica Simmons got her first basket with a pirouette in the paint, and Michelle Epstein drove the baseline. Then it was Becky's turn as she hit from the corner. Sarah hit yet another three, and Mary hit Becky down low for a nice three-point play. But it was the Friars' Keisha Blackwell who posted a three just before the buzzer. The Hoyas' Mary Lisicki opened the second half with a tray, and the Hoyas then forced a Providence turnover. Mary hit yet another three, and the Hoyas continued to work their defensive magic under the basket. Knock camped underneath for two, and a minute later hit the tray on an inbounds play. It was 50-43 when Carmen Bruce hit from inside the arc. Carmen then fed one to Shoshana Horvath for a nice put-in. Seconds later, she got all laces on the pull-up jumper. Then Mary launched a three, and the Hoya lead grew to 10. Providence made a game of it with a jumper from the top of the key, but the Mary to Becky show was on. Carmen Bruce returned to her early game form and hit her third three. After the Providence timeout, Becky got her own board and putback, while Carmen got yet another offensive board and positioned herself underneath to net two more as the Hoyas went on to win 79-67.
Well, I think in the first half against Providence, they shot well. I think we lost our balance defensively and gave them some penetrations and open looks, but they shot well and they played well. I think we came out the second half, got the ball in Mary's hands a little better for some better looks. She makes 5 threes, all in the second half. And, you know, we played better defense. That gave us the rebound, get it and go, and gave us the opportunities that I think Mary, Becky, and Knock got.
I think we could have done better. I was expecting, you know, a better win, but we needed it anyways. After a loss, it's always good to come out with a win.
I think we could improve on a lot of different things, but we have to keep our head up. It was a win. It's nice to even out our record in the Big East, 1-1. Come back from the loss in Miami, and we watched a lot of film, practiced hard, and you know, look to improve. This was a win. We won by 12 points. Have to take it as it comes. But I think there are a few more things we can work on to have maybe won by 20 or, you know.
The win over Providence, a team that had beaten the Hoyas last season, was definitely a morale booster. In fact, all but one Hoya played 11 or more minutes. Next up, it was the Columbia Lions on January 13th, a team with size and some outside shooting. The Hoyas got their 11th tip-off in as many games, and sophomore point guard Mary Lisicki wasted no time in posting her first three-pointer. Columbia got a pair of easy jumpers and took their only lead of the game, 4-3. Next, junior transfer Sarah Jenkins hit All-America candidate Becky Brunson for her first deuce of the game. Next, Knock hit from the arc, and Katie Day hit her first of 7 from the field. Senior forward Knock Duaney then fed Becky for another easy pair underneath, and the Hoya D was omnipresent as Mary Lisicki intercepted an inbounds pass and hit Shantice Charles with the outlet. The Hoyas' Carmen Bruce also showed her defensive prowess, and Shantice Charles piggybacked on the play. Next, it was Knock's turn to demonstrate some great D, while moments later Sarah hit Becky for a spin move in the paint. Columbia's Katie Day found some daylight, and Susan Altman scored on a heads-up play. Mary then launched one off the pick, and Bruce found some familiar real estate underneath. Columbia hit from outside the arc, but Varda Tomilianos got the nice post move to put the Hoyas up by 10. In the second half, Becky Brunson hit the 5-foot spin move, and moments later got her third block of the game. Then it was Mary to knock on the fast break, and Becky got her own board and put back. Nermal Berggren in for Mary Lisicki got a nice steal, and Noctuani got position underneath. The Hoyas polished off the Columbia Lions with two impressive defensive plays by Shoshana Horvath and a Sarah Jenkins jumper to improve their record to 10-2 in the still young Big East season.
We knew they were going to come in and play hard. We had three things we wanted to do tonight. Our first thing was we had a defensive goal to keep them under 55 points. So congratulations to our young women. We did that. Second thing was we wanted to take care of the ball better. And the third thing we wanted to do was we wanted to play hard. We wanted to play hard the whole game.
Well, we hustled and they hustled. They gave us a good competition. But we worked hard and we played our game and we kept our heads in the game.
Now it was time to go on the road and face a very tough Syracuse squad. The January 15th matchup resulted in a resounding 82-75 overtime victory at Manley Fieldhouse. Rebecca Brunson led all Hoyas with 25 points and 15 rebounds, while Sarah Jenkins and Noctuani chipped in with 18 and 15 points respectively. Then it was on to Connecticut for the Hoyas' third game in 6 days against the undefeated University of Connecticut Huskies. Facing the #2 team in the country Saturday, the Hoyas fell to the University of Connecticut 72-49. The Hoyas' Carmen Bruce set a new career best, leading all Hoya scorers with 15 points. Rebecca Brunson finished the afternoon with 11 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 blocks, giving her 13 double-digit scoring games this season. At 11-3, the Georgetown Hoyas returned to McDonough Gymnasium on January 22nd to face the ranked Boston College Eagles. Both clubs were coming off weekend losses to Big East teams. The Hoyas won the tip-off, but it was the Eagles' Amber Jacobs who hit first. Becky Brunson got the Hoyas' first pair, but the Eagles kept coming. The Hoyas' Carmen Bruce penetrated for 2, and Shoshana Horvath got the turnaround from 5. The Hoyas exchanged threes just before the half. First, Leslie Tyberski, and then Claire Drausch, and the half ended 46-20. In the second half, the Hoyas chipped away. First, Noctuani penetrated inside, and Mary Lisicki hit the much-needed 3. A minute later, Becky hit the 10-foot jumper. A pair of threes by Mary Lisicki and Carmen Bruce narrowed the Eagle margin to 12, but Boston College went on to win 72-60. At 11-4, the Georgetown University Hoyas faced the Virginia Cavaliers this afternoon. We'll report on this game and the entire February schedule when we see you next time on Hoya Highlights.